Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where today we're going to be looking at your YouTube channels. If you're new here, give us a little wave in chat. If this is your first time being in a channel review or audit live stream, you're going to learn not one particular secret that's going to take your channel and make it the most successful thing ever, but you're going to learn a lot of tactics and strategies that we use, that a lot of big YouTube channels use on this platform, that will help you grow, whether or not we look at your channel. Okay, so my recommendation here is to take some notes as we go through this today, so you can see maybe if the channel we're looking at has some things that it's doing that maybe you're doing. If that looks familiar, maybe I could kind of update what I'm doing, update my process, and improve a little bit. That's what we're going to try and help you do today. And I said we because I'm not alone. Rob's here.
Yo, everybody. I was trying to click on as many of a vidIQ Nation as possible who were saying hi for this intro. We are here, and there's just one more piece of housekeeping done before we can begin this live stream. Oh, yeah, that felt good. We're live.
You need a little robot thing, so on your stream deck you can push a button and it'll, like, the servo, it'll
that was so cool.
Yeah.
Somebody build that. Whoever's like an invention channel, we'll give you a free audit, but you've got to build me one, please.
Yeah, it has to be that manual live thing in the background. It's just a robot that controls it. You're not allowed to remake the whole thing, just a robot. All right.
Yes, I am the man who sends all of them emails. It is true. 10,000s of them. I've got, as I'm speaking right now, I've got another 1,200 emails I need to send right after this live stream.
Your look, like your general look, should be band-aids on your fingers. Like all your thumbnails.
I need to do a gif of Jim Carrey in God Almighty going with a keyboard.
Oh my goodness. Okay, does everybody want their channels reviewed now? Are you done with our shenanigans? I would say probably yes. So why don't we go ahead? What am I missing? I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, we have to play a video. That's right. Sorry, it's been like 6 weeks since I've been here. We need to play a video to explain how the heck this works, and it'll only take you just a few seconds.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
Okay, we're looking at the first channel right here.
My goodness, Dan, you're jumping straight into this. Let's just do a little bit of housekeeping.
What?
We take a look at Ghost Studios.
Fine.
Don't forget that super chats that do not guarantee an audit will probably induce a conversation out of Dan and myself. We recommend to put them in sooner rather than later. And I think that was the only bit of housekeeping, Dan. I just want to ensure that people aren't trying to give us lots of money for channel audits, because that never works, never happens. That's our disclaimer for the inevitable comment in 45 minutes that says, $1.99, how do I get my channel reviewed?
Yep. All right, now we'll take a look. So the way this works, as you saw, there are two forms. This is the first channel that's submitted on the non-gaming form, and you might be thinking this is definitely a gaming channel. Looks like it. They're a game development channel, so I gave it a pass because game development channels are doing something way different than gaming channels, and that is teaching a very, very particular skill, right?
So you would argue it's educational.
Yes, I would.
All right.
I tend to give these channels a bit of a pass when they submit on that form. So we're just going to take a look and see what we can see. There are a lot of channels like this on YouTube, and what's nice is that we can do a lot of research and figure out, well, what is the best strategy for this channel going forward? Unleashing the AI's power in Unity, see how simple it is. Now, like I see this. I saw AI and thought, oh, okay, they're covering AI in this tool. That's cool. But I feel like the pitch of this video is all wrong. I don't feel like it's going to get the message across. It probably does what I expect it to do, which is here's some really cool AI tools for Unity. So I feel like the pitch of this video probably should have been like top 5 AI tools in Unity. So if I just type in AI tools Unity AI explained, that was 2 months ago, almost 10,000 views on that. What is Unity AI? 2 months ago, 76,000 views. ChatGPT in Unity is insane. That one did really well for the creator. Crazy AI tech allows anyone to build 3D games. So this is kind of like where the AI space in game development is right now, especially when you look in search. And I bring that up because that is something that I think this channel could be doing. If you're going to cover AI and AI basics and stuff, do a little bit of research in titles and thumbnails, because you noticed on the ones we just looked at, what do they all have in common? Dead simple. Like all of these, the concept in the title and the thumbnail is just explaining a really, really simple thing. Unity AI explained. Like, you just know what this video is about. Unleashing AI's power in Unity, see how simple it is. It's a lot of words. The thumbnail, look at all the arrows and lines on it, and there's like it looks like a football map, you know, where all the football players are and they draw the lines, or you're going to go here. That's what it reminds me of. So just a very complex. What are you seeing, Rob?
So I would say, in defense of that particular video, Dan, it was created quite a while ago. I think before you would call the AI revolution that
Good point.
appeared at the end of the year.
Good
but
point.
I will agree with you in saying that it's an overly complicated way of explaining AI built this video game, essentially. And I would argue that you may want to go even more basic and not include Unity in any of the references to the title. I'm hoping that if you search for AI built this video game or something similar, there's going to be a particular video that comes up which caught my interest. It was somebody who built Flappy Birds, but only through ChatGPT prompts. It was like a few months ago, and it got this channel millions of views, and they were a very small, maybe it's Flappy Birds AI or something like that. This guy. So look, this was during the AI revolution, and as you can see, the channel probably had less than 10,000 subscribers at the time. But it was creating a question: Can AI code Flappy Bird? And like, it was a super successful video. And I think if a creator is going to do more stuff on AI and video game development, then that's the type of curious, intriguing title that they want to use. But anyway, Dan, we are talking about one very specific video on their channel list. So we go back to the channel. What I would say is, could there be more consistency? I know we talk about creating content on a regular basis. Does game development videos require 2 to 3 weeks per video, once a month, that type of thing? I'm not sure. It seems to be that this creator goes into really specific tutorials, like how to create a health bar in Unity, which is very specific tutorial. That's cool, but that video didn't perform that well, versus how to make a water shader in Unity. So that's more like landscape development in gaming. It's like these micro niches within game development that maybe this creator has a special superpower in, maybe sort by popular, that may reveal if they have stronger points. Like, oh, did that have 41,000 views? And when I just mentioned it last time.
Oh, they doubled down.
I was trying to double down on it. Okay, and it didn't do as well the second time. But the second most popular one is also about water shader. So I don't know, maybe you don't want to do videos that are about water shading specifically, but like different shades and textures on graphics, maybe a series you can investigate as well.
Trees, landscaping.
What I'm going down here, Dan, is that the creator is being very specific in certain concepts of video game development. And is that going to create a successful channel on the whole, or do they need to go even more specific and go for something like really super specific, like textures and shaders, or be broader and talk about the whole game development process? That's where I think the creator has a bit of a decision to make, given the spiky view counts on their videos.
Yeah. I did per super chat lower my volume a little bit. Thank you for letting us know, and thank you for the super chat. So they're saying your volume needs to come up, and mine needs. I've now brought mine down a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't. To us, it sounds good, which is why it's so confusing sometimes. But we appreciate it. Okay. Anyway, we'll get back to where. How do I get rid of this? There we go. We'll get back to here. So I wanted to point out the latest video they made real quick.
Yep.
Starting a game dev journey, my first devlog revealed. This is like a really cool thing to do, I think, in game development channels where you kind of do a dev log. You're literally like tracking your progress on a thing you're making. But I wanted to try to redirect the conversation a little bit because the fact that you're starting the developer log is not the title of the video. The title of the video should be more related to what it is you're making, not that you're making it, right? Like, it really depends. Like, if you're making a game that is, like a PvP based game, I see tombstones and stuff. So with like PvP and you can kill your friends and all that fun stuff, like that is a very particular kind of game. If you're making a game where you're trying to do a survival thing where you're building and you're mining and you're crafting and all that stuff, that's another specific type of game. So you should be logging your progress towards making a specific game, because that is going to be, it's like if someone wants to follow along with you, they're probably going to be wanting to find somebody making a game that they're wanting to make, right? Like a similar project. So right now you're not giving this a whole lot, and it's hard for that video to rank to any one particular audience because you're just kind of throwing it out there like my development journey, doing what, developing what. So that's what was missing in that latest video.
I want to end on a note of positivity. The channel is approaching 500 subscribers. So, that's part one of the new monetization requirements. And when you actually look at their videos, Dan, although they are sparse in publication, the majority of the time, the videos are reaching a wider audience than their subscriber size, which is positive as well. Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. Well done there. And, I think if you can, get some nuggets out of what we've talked about today, you're going to go very far. For a game development channel, like, this is strong. Like, we see a lot of these types of channels, and I feel like they're just like on the cusp. All right, let's take a look at the first gaming channel, actual gaming channel, who submitted on the gaming forum. It's GamerBen, and I had to look at the forum. GamerBen is, sometimes I like it when they explain it to us. They said that they're doing Minecraft survival and Darman skeleton meme videos. So I'm seeing the skeleton meme videos.
True to their word.
I had to scroll down a little bit for some Minecraft, but it did start to show up a little bit. I don't know enough about Darman or skeleton memes to say definitively, but it feels like you're doing two very completely different things on your YouTube channel.
Just look at the view counts, Dan. I mean, they're not a Minecraft channel anymore. They are a Darman skeleton memes channel.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And is that even gaming?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
What's is it? I'm really showing my gaming ignorance here. What's it called? Nevertale, that music game, which is that where it comes from?
Undertale?
Undertale, maybe. I don't know. Flame me in the comments for my gaming ignorance.
These are doing very well for them. I can see why you would want to double down and continue doing these.
Yep.
The question is, why, when you submitted this channel, did you still hold on to that Minecraft part of it? When you were describing your channel to us, how I would assume you would describe it to other people, why do you continue to hold on to that? Is it because of your channel name? Is it because of just that's where you started and here's where you are today? It's okay to have tried something that you enjoyed and have it take off and then pivot. But I would encourage you to, if this is what you enjoy doing and it's doing well for you, and you're not coming up against any like copyright issues, go with what's working on your channel. Maybe you're not really a gaming channel anymore. Maybe you do memes. Maybe you kind of branch out and try different types of memes. But I think the audience you're attracting with this content, whichever route you decide to go, is not going to be the same. You're making content for this particular type of audience. This audience is not there. The crossover here is not going to be in your favor in terms of like getting consistent views on all types of content you make. It's just going to be really, really difficult. I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, it looks like they did start with Minecraft.
I would probably just unlist these Minecraft videos. I mean, not that they're really impacting the channel anyway, because I think the accumulation of all the views on these Minecraft videos doesn't come close to like 10% of the views on one of these recent videos. So I don't think YouTube's serving this content up to the original Minecraft audience at this point. So unlist videos, rebrand channel. What about shorts? Let's just check what they're doing there. Now, how old are these Minecraft shorts? Like, are they still doing these Minecraft shorts as recently as the stuff? So April the 6th. Now, I think that's when they abandoned Minecraft anyway. So, I mean, taking these new Darman clips, memes, and turning them into shorts is probably another avenue of a potential success. I guess the big challenge is, what's the life cycle of this meme culture for this particular topic? Is it super recent, or has it been around for months, possibly years? If it's been around for years, then cool. You've got a channel that could get you well into monetization and build a community around it. If it's just been trending for the last month or so, you probably want to be considering your exit strategy or your crossover meme content pretty soon. Final question, community, Dan, are they doing anything there? Okay, so they're doing voting polls. Oh, maybe a bit too aggressively there. 19 hours, 16 hours, 19 hours. I would try and do like maximum of 2 community posts a day, space them out between, like 12 hours between each one.
Yeah.
But it's good that they're using it, and they are starting to build a community around their community posts as well.
This is okay to do, just as a general rule of thumb when it comes to community tab. If you're going to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, I would much rather you make a community tab post than a video, personally. And if you make a video, I would much rather you make a video that looks like any other video, but it's not pitched as 1,000 subscriber special, but it's rather, here's a video like I would always do. And in the video you mention, by the way, thanks for 1,000 subscribers. So that's just my rule of thumb, because when I see subscriber celebrations, like, you got to remember, that's a you thing. You're excited about 1,000 subscribers. Your audience is along for the ride, and they don't necessarily care how many subscribers you have. Just the way of it. However, this is fine. This is cool. As you continue using your community tab, try and space out posts like this that are very personal to you, and mix in posts about the thing that you do on your channel that would be of interest to your audience. Treat this content like you would a video. Like, how can you use this to entertain or inform? If you look at our community tab, you'll kind of see where I'm coming from. We ask our community a lot of questions about their YouTube channels, because that's why they follow us. They want advice for YouTube. We give them advice. We ask them questions. We take that data, and sometimes we'll make videos out of it. So, we'll do things with our community tab posts. So this is not just for GamerBen. This is for anyone thinking about using the community tab. Just some general tips.
I have turned my volume up around about 10 to 15%. So, Dan, does that still sound within reasonable limits for you?
Sounds good to me.
And so do let us know in the chat if it's still a little too quiet. These fancy microphones there, Dan, and these mixing things. Variables everywhere.
We need to make a friend at StreamYard, so we get like a little meter so we can see what everyone's volume is doing next to. That
Agreed.
would really help.
StreamYard, hashtag not sponsored, but make it happen for us, please.
All right. So I think you sent me this channel that we're going to look at next.
I did.
It is Definition Shorts with 1,000 subscriers.
Yep.
What is the definition of subscribe? Something you should do right now.
Cheeky,
clever.
Fun, cute.
Yeah,
So this channel gave me a series of vocal responses, which were, oh, let me try and take you through those emotions. So shorts, you just click on one down, we can play one. There's no copyright music or anything. They are super, super simple. I can't hear anything, but it's essentially, Dan, what I think is an AI voice, a pretty good one, but an AI voice giving you the literal definition of a word in about 4 or 5 seconds. So that in itself, the shorts are like, nah, like, I think there needs to be a lot more here. It should probably be pitched at like trying to improve, for speakers of other languages, to improve your English. You would probably want a visual representation of whatever you're talking about, if possible, etc., etc. But they are very, very simple. The view counts, as you can see, they're all over the place. Some get a couple of hundreds, some get barely any, some get a couple of thousands, so on and so forth. There is one up there, Dan, I think, where where it's almost like a voice reveal. It's the one on the very right-hand side. What is the best school subject? If you click on that one, at least for you to listen to, that is a different voice from the other ones. Like, it's even a different accent, which is strange. So at this point, I'm like, what? So what you need to do is go over to the longs. And this is where I went, ooh. Now, again, it's a meme channel, but it's drilling in to the meme culture around taking exams, specifically in the UK for, what would you call this, like 15 to 16-year-olds. So like high school, the exams you take when you're about to graduate. And look at the view counts, like incredible. And this is like the right time to do this content because it's exam season in the UK. And if you click on GCSE Memes 2023, where I've just watched a bit of it, that one, and pause it, because I can't remember what the music is or anything. If you scroll down, there's one comment which was like, so the second one here, Dan, where it says, I remember doing my GCSEs this time last year, and I have to say this video hit hard. And what that is like a sample size of your target audience getting exactly what this video is about and saying, this channel is for me. It's like the chef's kiss moment. So if you go back to the channel, you can see that they're building this community around this kind of jokey meme culture around taking really important exams. Again, this is very trending right now. Exam season is pretty much over. So what do you do next? What does a person do after GCSEs in the UK? They go to A level, they go to college. So you may want to move your memes to the like college life. That's where I would transition next. But in terms of the channel name, the shorts, that part of the channel feels like I'll just use a simple word, a bit of a failure. Like I'm going to phone this in. Maybe this is AI generated stuff, etc., etc., etc. But when you really start to focus on a target audience with these memes, it's like, oh, this is brilliant. This is fantastic. This is like a real insight into finding a target audience and hitting them at this point almost every single day with fantastic comedic content.
And the, content that I would expect to do very well on YouTube Shorts. They've done it in the long form side. They could do this in shorts,
Indeed.
just take like like videos that maybe have multiple memes, or you can edit them down a little bit, make them like 30 seconds long, maybe shorter. Like there's a lot you can do here. So this is pretty cool. I also was going to say, before I knew about the memes, I was going to say, if you're going to do definition shorts, I think you should do words that are kind of out there. Words that you've probably heard before, but you've never given them a second thought. Like, I don't know what that word means. And you've just moved on from it.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Insidious.
Stupid things like that. And like, what is the definition?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah. I just think that would appeal to more people in general. Like, what's the definition of word you've definitely heard before, but never thought about, And they'll go, oh yeah, what is that? What is the word? I've seen that before. Or what's the definition of this word? Like, you can show words that are all spelled differently, but have different, that sound the same and have different meanings. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with words that, get you to stop scrolling. And this idea comes from, I wish I knew the channel name. There's this channel that's been popping up in my feed lately. It's this painfully British person who lives in America, who is always saying the question of the day. And it's always some kind of like, it's a word we use that they don't use in the UK. Or like one I saw today was about dandelion season. Like, why does America get so many dandelions? Like, it's just like culture stuff, like between the two countries. And I always stop because I like their explanation of things, because it's actually like the deadpan way they deliver, and then the research they actually do to explain things legitimately is fun. It's fun to watch. So it gets me to stop every time, and I kind of wonder if this could do something similar. But hey, this is a really cool find. This is one of those channels. I mean, look, they're probably already at monetization given their view counts.
Given the view counts. Yeah.
So yeah, mostly a congrats to this channel, and definitely a ways up. I think the ceiling on this kind of content is still really high. I think they could go really far with this.
They just need to figure out where to go next, because exam season is done. What are you going to do next?
Back to school is a whole vibe too.
Back to school, yeah.
And it's hard to enjoy summer when it's just a couple months, you're going to go right back to school. So you could play on that too. All right.
I've got to stop you there, Dan.
Yeah, before we get to the next one.
Self-indulgent time. I almost forgot
See,
to do this.
I wanted to do super chats, but that's fine.
Well, before super chats, it is time, everybody, for your favorite part of the live stream, if you are a regular here. And that is to guess the gaming sound effect as we go through Rob's self-indulgent gaming corner. What sound effect is this? Oh, now have a think about that one. Have a think about that one. I mean, it's incredibly biased because I'm going back to my childhood, and probably a lot of people weren't even born when that sound effect appeared. But let us know what that sound effect is if you know. And then also, what game have you been playing this week intensely? And I will put that in the comments. So I'll just pull out that sound effect one more time. And then I'll throw it over to Dan, and you can tell us what game you've been playing this week.
Oh, I don't know. I played a little bit of Played Up, which is fun.
Oh, what's Played Up?
What's Played Up? I thought I told you about Played Up. We gotta play it sometime. It's so you know how there's that game Overcooked. Yeah. Imagine that game only good.
Okay, is Overcooked not good then?
Overcooked is great until you get to like a certain point, and then it's frustrating. Right. This game is always just very consistently amazing. You have a kitchen, people are coming in, you're making food, and as you go, it does get more challenging, but it's a roguelike. You're meant to eventually fail, and then you fail, you gain some levels, you gain some items, then you go into the next one, you know. I think you'd really, really enjoy it.
Well, I would love to play it, Dan, if you can keep clicking on some games, but I am still heavily occupied by God of War Ragnarok. I think I'm now about 32 hours in, so people who played it can probably guess roughly where I am. What I'm finding surprising about the game is how you switch secondary characters so frequently. Like in the first game, you were just with your son Atreus throughout, but in this one, you're playing with another character and another character, and then somebody comes back, and then another character leaves, and so on. And so you've got to think about how you're leveling up that character at the same time you're leveling up Kratos, who continues to grunt throughout the game, and it is fantastic. What is this stream about? It is about guessing gaming sound effects. And some people did guess that right. Dan,
yes.
Where does that come from?
Super Nintendo Star Fox.
Indeed. I can't remember the character's name. It was the frog guy.
That was probably Peppy.
Was it Peppy the Frog?
I think
wasn't Peppy the Rabbit.
No, Peppy might have been the rabbit. Slippy.
Yeah.
Slippy.
Well, let's call him Slippy, even if his name isn't Slippy. Yeah, he was the engineer. And a little bit of insider knowledge here. It was not insider knowledge. It was the first Super Nintendo game which came with the FX chip, which made it look almost as good as playing on a Sony PlayStation, but not quite so much. But yeah, Dan, thanks.
Yeah.
He's saying, let's do some super chats.
Okay, so for those asking, what is the stream about if you just got here? We are reviewing channels, but we're taking a quick super chat break because we've been getting a bunch of new members. EV Pulse, thanks for becoming a member. We've been getting super chats, questions. Also, Fat Tested Travel has become a member. Thank you. How much does the video idea play into click-through rate? Interesting question from CLAAAW.
Well, obviously, click rate plays an important role because the click-through rate determines when people see your thumbnail and title, how often they click on it. But it is a very variable number. Like when a video first goes out, you're probably looking for a certain click rate. However, if that video goes viral and it's got millions of views, the click-through rate might be terrible, but that's a good thing because YouTube's sharing it amongst a huge audience. That's where impressions come into place. It's always a difficult one to answer. We've done videos on this. Search something along the lines of what is CTR vidIQ on YouTube, and you'll find an interesting discussion about it.
Keep in mind, like, video idea is the most important part of this whole thing because video idea is about making something for somebody, right? So your click-through rate is going to weigh heavily against your video idea, right? Like if somebody, I've seen videos with terrible thumbnails, objectively speaking, get millions of views just because they're covering something that a lot of people want to know about, you know, or a lot of people are interested in, find funny, something that's shareable. So your idea is super important. What's next? Let's see. Your 1500 theory on shorts is correct. 600 to 2000 seems to be the test group where shorts rocket views inside 1 hour, then plateau, in my experience.
Telling you, Dan, we're gonna interrogate YouTube and say, why do you default give shorts 1,600 views?
Yeah, and is that a good sample size? You know, that's the real question. Hypo Aim, new member.
I'm forgetting the sound effects, by the way.
Yeah, you're you just keep hitting the Star Fox one. Mr. Rainbow loves coffee. Why does it take 5 hours to get views on my shorts every time I post my shorts, no matter what time I post? Thank you.
Well, this used to happen a couple of years ago, didn't it, Dan, where the short would just flatline for a number of hours, and then all of a sudden YouTube would kind of vomit views all over the short for like a very short amount of time. But I've not seen that recently. I mean, for us, we just get like a very steady number of views as if we're launching a long form piece of content. But I don't know, maybe for new channels, you do still experience that moment of nothing's happening. Oh my God, oh, nothing's happening. Like you just get that sample size of views.
Yeah, here's my theory. If you're a newer shorts channel, you're probably seeing this more because your shorts audience is most likely different than your long form audience. So I don't care if you've been doing long form for 10 years. If you start doing shorts, it'll probably start at a slower pace because you haven't built up the regular viewers who have seen your shorts and tend to click on them a lot. But we've kind of done that now with our shorts. So now when we post a short, it gets views almost immediately. We don't have to wait any time at all. And then after some hours pass, sometimes our shorts will flatline, and sometimes they will start to swoop up even more, as if YouTube's like, wow, a lot of people in the regular audience seem to like this. Let's show it to some new folks.
There's usually quite a dramatic incline within the first 24 hours, Dan, isn't it? If it gets picked up, it's like, oh, yes, this is interesting. Give me more.
Yeah, and it's just a theory. No one's told me this. This is just my own observations after playing with shorts quite a bit. That's what I think might be going on. So that we already addressed this. That was from earlier. Thank you for the super chats.
Here's the thing, Dan. Maybe we should make our live streams as technically crap as possible when we first go live, and then people can give us super chats telling us how to improve it. So like we can make $50 out of just sorting out everything correctly. And
then we could make a video about this YouTube money hack that no one wants you to know about. Yeah. Sid's Picks, thank you for super chats and becoming a member. Video was getting good impressions and views. My dad shared it on WhatsApp. It got 50 views from WhatsApp, and the video died immediately after that. How many views?
That is interesting.
How many views did it have pre-WhatsApp is my question. Yeah. Because that makes a difference. If it had like thousands and WhatsApp killed it, I don't know. That would be weird. If it had like 2 views, 3 views, and you're like, oh, wow, this is more than I usually get in the first few minutes. WhatsApp may have given it a boost, but it never was going to get more. Like, I wouldn't necessarily blame WhatsApp for killing it, but I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
Can you get your dad to WhatsApp the 50 people who watched it and ask them what they actually did? Because like if they just tapped on the video and then immediately went, oh, this is rubbish, it's not for me. It's just their dad trying to get his son a couple of views or his daughter a couple of views, whatever. It's like, I'm not watching this. You know, that could, in theory, send lots of negative signals to the to YouTube, which is why you shouldn't necessarily share your content with an audience that doesn't relate to your content. And your dad's WhatsApp group might be the completely wrong audience.
Yeah.
That sounded really creepy when I said that.
If you're a travel channel and that group of people is not into travel content, why would they keep watching? Like, oh, your kid made a video, that's cool. Click off. They don't watch the whole thing. So yeah. All right. Would love to get a channel review trying to improve and learn. That was that 45? That was 34
38 minutes in. 38 minutes in.
Although they did send it 14 minutes after we went live. So no. that's the
brutal.
Answer.
That's harsh.
Unfortunately we can't sell the super chats. Otherwise, the people who are submitting on the forums who are not going to give us a super chat will never have a chance.
You can't sell the audits on super chats. That's what you meant.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, what Rob said. Hypo Aim. Is there a way for content creators like me to gain more subscribers? I lost 120k subs this year because my viewers are using VPNs to access YouTube. Okay, wait a minute. Whoa. What? Okay.
Record scratch. I ain't got that as a sound effect, but what?
2 things. You lost 120,000 subscribers. I'm sure it's in your data. I'm not doubting that. It's just like, how did you gain 100? Like, a lot of people here have never had that amount of subscribers. So that's like, that feels like recoverable over the course of some time. But the second half of this that's even more confusing is, how do you know that that many people were using a VPN to access YouTube, and how do you know that was the reason they unsubscribed? I don't know how YouTube data would tell you how many people unsubscribe, but it would not tell you why they did, because YouTube doesn't know why they did. It sounds like something fishy might have been going on, and I'm not blaming you, but YouTube eventually caught up. Oh, this is a lot of subs that are like not legit, and then they removed them, as they do. They do those cleanups, and now you're kind of back to like even playing field. Like, now the people who are subscribed are real people. I was hearing that. Just so you know.
Sorry, yeah, I was checking out the channel in the background.
Okay. Anything you're noticing, or?
Nothing other than the views seem very consistent. The person every day. The channel seems healthy right now in terms of audience consistency. But yeah, the 120k subs, VPNs, access, that's all really confusing and sus, and we can't comment on that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Best of luck, though. Inspire Forward, thank you for the super. Appreciate you. Arty Foolish Intelligence does a tribute video with commercial music like the Beatles and original art, mine, prevent monetization on the rest of the channel?
No, I think what you're describing is a copyright claim on an individual video.
Yeah. Think. Now, if you got 3 strikes, that's different.
Yeah. No, as far as we're aware, one copyright claim on a video would not necessarily prevent you from monetizing the channel or being accepted into the YouTube partner program. However, this is always my, just be aware of this. A human reviewer is checking out your channel, and let's say this one video contributed 3,500 watch hours to your 4,000 watch hours required for monetization. You got to monetization through using a copyright claim. So what would be the incentive for YouTube to allow you into the YouTube partner program if most of your content gets through copyright claims? Now, that is not a definitive answer from YouTube. That's just my thought and opinion on the subject.
There is a way to go through this without risking your channel copyright claims. And I know it's difficult to navigate, but creator music is a thing. And I don't know if the Beatles are on there, but there is mainstream music in here that you can license for videos. It costs a fee. There's a lot of details in here. It's not very straightforward, but it exists. Like, it's a thing you can do. And that would keep you from getting a copyright claim.
I think the YouTube audio library is now being migrated into creator music. We kept seeing a pop-up down, and I never did anything with it. So
it wanted you to basically take your favorite songs and like just move the list over to this. But yeah, you can, and there's free music in there too. You can filter it out. But yeah, so just a quick FYI there, in case you didn't know. Catherine, thank you for the becoming a member. Follow up to my previous question, which I think we were just talking about. How do I ensure that a tribute video with commercial music, like the Beatles and original mine, will not be removed because of copyright strike? Creator music.
Yeah, and yes, like you can't ensure the Beatles music will be removed if it's not part of the creator music collection.
Yeah.
Basically, avoid copyright content, because it sounds like you're not fully up to speed with this. So either consult all of the copyright material YouTube has, of which there is a ton of it, or just use common sense, which is to avoid copyright to content.
Yeah.
Because it'll just get you in too much trouble, like it sounds like it is already.
I've watched plenty of like documentary channels on YouTube that give really deep dives into a topic, like the Beatles, for example. Yeah. And they literally put in their script and they say this out loud: I would love to play some of this music for you, but I don't want a copyright claim, so I'm playing this instead. It kind of sounds like the Beatles. They just make it part of the video. Like, I wish I could play this for you, but you probably know what it sounds like anyway. And then they move on. Our channel focuses on interior design, with video production taking weeks. Is it okay to have 2 to 3 channels for different niches like drawing tutorials, interior design, and native language content? One channel certainly won't impact the other.
Yeah.
The time you spend on each one will vary, and that could impact the other channels because you don't have as much time to invest in one. But yeah, if you're doing all those 3 different types of content on 3 different types of channels, that's algorithmically speaking should be fine, as long as you're not trying to cross promote and pull people from one direction to the other. Just accept that it's different content for different audiences. And 3 channels is a lot.
They do say hour though, so it suggests that there may be a team behind this. It's not just
that's true. Yeah,
a one creator project here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, unless the drawing tutorials and the interior design are both about the same type of design language, which is designing for the home or for kitchens or bedrooms, or that might be just different formats of the same topic. I don't know what native language content is. I don't know if that's something completely different. But from the context of this question, it seems to make sense to separate these channels out.
Yeah. I think we've seen this channel before too. I recognize the logo.
Yeah, isn't this one where it was creating like 250 AI images and like the chair legs? We had like weird chair legs that you spotted, Dan. I could be wrong, but yeah, the channel icon seems a little familiar.
I think that's what it is, or they're doing literal this is the channel that might actually be building stuff. Okay. We saw one like that too.
Fair enough.
Okay, in any case, let's move on to the next super chat. Well, then we'll get back to channel reviews. We got a lot of super chats today. We'll come back to them. vidIQ has helped me every day to grow my channel. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Astro Computer Guy. Appreciate it. And then Castles and Canals, thank you for becoming a member.
Dan, we've got over 100 members in the vidIQ membership nation now, which is incredible.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Enjoy your emotes, which we still need to add to.
Still need to add to.
And then VZ Family gave us a super as well, but no question.
Thanks, VZ Family.
And then Home Engineering gave us membership. So thank you, everybody. All right, we have a lot more questions stacked up, so we will come back to those. We want to get back to reviewing some channels for a bit. And the channel we're looking at right now is called Pokemon TCG UK, which would be Pokemon trading card game. So I'm going to say right off the bat, I was having this conversation with somebody just the other day. Maybe it was yesterday. Using a name in your channel that is already used by the company, like in this case, Pokemon, is a bit of a dangerous proposition. Yeah. Because if your channel blows up, if you meet your goals, if you eventually become a business and decide to make it an LLC, for example, you can't really use this name because this name is already owned by the Pokemon company. And if you know anything about Nintendo, you know they hate it when people use their stuff. So, but that goes for anything. I would encourage a Minecraft channel to keep the word Minecraft out of their channel name for the purpose of one day you might become a brand, and then you have to change your name way later in your journey after everyone knows you as Minecraft Guy 123. So just my first bit of advice for this channel is to maybe consider a name that is reminiscent of Pokemon, but is not Pokemon blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, this is actually one of the lessons in the Coach Approach tool that we have on the vidIQ app. And the example was a Lego channel, but what would be a good name for a Lego channel? And one of them was Lego Adventures. And it's no, you can't really do this because it's IP, it's owned by Lego themselves, and you may have problems in the future with this. So, what could be an alternative name for this channel? It might be something like Gotta Catch Them Pokes. I just made that up on the spot. I know that's terrible.
You mentioned Lego. This is a channel I've been watching quite a bit. This is Master Builder Alec.
Yeah.
And obviously Lego, all over the place. They don't have to put Lego in their channel name. They are Master Builder, which is a title at the company, Alec, and their name. So If they ever wanted, almost 1 million subscribers, there probably is an LLC behind this channel by now. If they ever wanted to become like a more like known brand, they're safe. They've used a unique name that isn't going to get them in trouble with Lego.
Yeah. So going back to the channel, we have seen many Pokemon card collecting channels.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's too much branding of the Pokemon animation.
Yes.
I know that sounds a little bit weird, but because I'm seeing the protagonist, the main characters from the cartoon, I'm almost tricked. Maybe trick's not the right word, but I instinctively assume that this might be something to do with the show itself, rather than the collecting of the cards, because the colors and the size of the images on the left dominate versus the cards and the text on the right. And really what we want to be seeing here is the exploration and the reveal of what you've got to show in the video, as opposed to the characters from the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we look at the Paldea evolved ones, the two on the right hand side, there's like quite a few decks, quite a few cards, but I can't see them even on this screen. And when you go down to mobile screen size, I'm going to struggle even more. I will say that the thumbnail design is promising. You know, it's very consistent. It's relatively simple. There's a bit too much text going on there, but you know, simple red and white, something on one side, something on the other. I think that can be developed. And just, you know, from a view point of view, Dan, have we got like 10 subscribers or like very few subscribers? 10 subscribers, 30 videos. You know, the view counts are slowly climbing. We started with barely 10. Now we're into the dozens of views at this point, which is promising.
Yeah, I mean, but this is a very early video for their channel, and you can see how many more views it got compared to literally every other video they've ever made, and it's not this format that they're using. Because to me, this actually looks like a thing going on. Like this is the Pokemon trading card like battle arena thing, right?
It's a game then, so this isn't actually physical, tangible cards. I didn't even realize that.
They're doing that too, but this in particular did really well.
So confused,
right? But you see the idea, right? Like this was familiar to a lot of people.
Pokemon Perker.
Right. Which when you look at these, it's hard to tell what's going on. I recognize the characters. So you're doing a review of the episodes. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff here on the right that I can't really see because it's too small. So really consider what the audience is seeing who's never watched your content before. The only chance they're ever going to get to know who you are is this title and thumbnail when it appears on their feed. And if you want them to click, you have to make sure they understand what's going on. Otherwise, this is all they're ever going to know. Now, for you, I would be doing research about, let's just look up like one of your videos here. I'm just going to like take this title and kind of do a shorter version of it. So TCG Paldea Evolved Box Opening. These first 3 thumbnails, as wild as they look like card unboxings to me. You got somebody's face, they're covered in cards, and what do they all do? They all take 1 or 2 recognizable pieces of imagery and put it right up to the lens. They're taking, especially this one I like the most, I think. Just a couple of cards.
Because of the eyes.
Because the eyes are great, but they have a couple of, like, they have a card and they have a box, and opening the box. Like super, super simple. Like you don't really have to read the titles to kind of know what's going to happen in these videos. And that's kind of where we want you to get to, because that's really popular in this space. So if you pivot your thumbnails, it seems like, I mean, look at the nice camera, like the lighting is really nice here. Really clean. It looks like they're doing a lot with their camera angles and stuff to make the viewing experience like solid, right? They're laying everything out really carefully. So this is great. This is like a really good way to do things. I would also ask the question, does the video game, like, does it relate to the audience that collects the actual cards? And it might. It's for you to keep testing, but these are 2 pretty different things. You know, you're collecting cards in real life versus collecting them in a video game. 2 different experiences altogether. So do keep that in mind. But there we go. A lot of advice there for Pokemon TCG. Best of luck to you. Let's take a look at our Twitter submission of the week.
All right.
Every week or so, we run one of these on Twitter where you can get a channel review. And this week's winner was this channel here with this thumbnail for Mini Cities 2. So we pulled them up here. And immediately, you're probably noticing a couple things.
This guy loves Tom Brady. Is it Tom Brady of just the Patriots?
I think it's just the Patriots.
At large. Okay.
Yeah. They like the Patriots, which is fine. They also play all these different games, and not a single one that I saw was, oh, here we go. Nope. If you scroll down far enough, we have a few like Madden clips. So it looked like they were more into Madden, but they've pivoted since then to different types of games. So Mini Cities, this racing game here, Just Daytona, I guess. Oh, it's Roblox. Okay, gotcha. Some World War II videos, which I think this is a game. So a few different things going on.
Oh no, Hearts of Iron 4. I think that's a game.
Okay.
I could just see the title in the top left-hand corner.
Now, what is interesting is there was, I think a week ago, Rob, maybe 2 weeks ago, I remember telling a channel, we saw a channel that was kind of all over the place, and I told them to continue doing what they were doing. Like, take all these different things that you're interested in and keep uploading them, because eventually you're going to find something that you enjoy doing. Eventually something might take off. And that kind of seems to happen for this channel, because they did a lot of things. But immediately I noticed the thumbnail that got them this channel review in the first place, I mean, 2 days ago, it's not doing too bad. 439 views.
Good.
And this video about Mini Cities 2.
Yeah.
5,000 views. Yeah. You might have found it. I don't know if you see it the way I do, but out of your more recent content anyway. And here we go. Mini Cities from 8 months ago, 8,000 views.
Just do a search down for on the channel Mini Cities 2. I also get this. Yeah, I also get that search option.
So they have a playlist. So 9,000 views.
5,000, 8,000, 5,000. 5,000.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is consistent, though. Like 4,000
is a Mini Cities 2 channel, period.
Yep.
Everything else, stop what you're doing. We don't want you to premiere some more Just Daytona Roblox videos in a few days. We want you to dissect this game, especially if it hasn't been released yet, because you're doing leaks and updates, and interest is going to build over time. You are primed.
Yep.
It's up to you whether or not you take our advice. Is this another like this? I guess this is another
it is Roblox
2 mod. Okay,
which is fine. That's great.
Yeah,
Roblox.
cool.
There are games within Roblox that are more popular than other ones, and I would say the Daytona one is a racing game. This is obviously like a city builder. 2 totally different games. I don't care that they're both Roblox. 2 totally different audiences. I will say, after listening to the video, they are using a robot voice, and it's not a subtle one. It's like a really obnoxious robot voice. I think you'll get even more views if you don't use it. And you might be thinking, well, wait a minute. If my title and my thumbnail are good and people click, what do you mean I'll get more views by not using the robot voice? If people are clicking on this video and then leaving very quickly because they don't like the voice like I would do, then YouTube is going to stop continuing to share it. It doesn't matter how good your title and thumbnail is. If people's experience when they click on the video is not great, they go away. So there's 2 things you can do for this, or 3 things. You can get an AI voice that sounds so human, you trick everybody. You could hire somebody on a website like Fiverr to record your pre-scripted voiceover, so you don't have to put your voice, or you buy a microphone, you rip the Band-Aid off, and you start doing your own commentary. You want people to have that human connection. And if your content feels like it's AI generated, if it sounds off-putting, you're only going to get so far, right, on YouTube. And then you're going to hit a wall. And you're going to be like, why am I not growing? Well, because people don't feel like they know the person behind the channel. Building a community is so important on YouTube. It is. Even a channel like this one that just gives like YouTube advice. Some people get the advice we give them and they never come back. They're like, I got what I need. And some people stick around for a number of reasons, because YouTube's always updating. There's more they want to learn, and they become part of our community. And then, all kinds of silly things like the emotes we have for members, like those are very specific. Like you might look at those and go, I don't really get the references here, but our community does. And they become members, so what?
Let's just add a disclaimer here, Dan, to the vidIQ Nation, because we say this every single week, right? get rid of robot voices as much as you can.
Yes.
What I would say is, before you do that, just check the audience view duration, watch time, whatever.
Yes.
Okay? Yep. On this 8-minute video, let's say your audience view duration is 6 minutes or 75% or whatever. In that case, leave it in because your video is kicking ass.
Yeah.
But if the audience duration is like 25%, 2 minutes, whatever, that's significantly less than average. And one of the reasons might be is the engagement with the audience. So I've thought that, like, we preach this as like very standard operating procedure on YouTube, but there are exceptions, and the exceptions are if you check your audience duration, watch time, and it's proving against what we're saying, then leave as is.
Oh, you have your data. We do not. All we can do is go off like the surface data and some gut feelings and personal experience. So yes, scrap everything I just said, still build a community, but take everything I just said, throw it away if your audience retention is 75%, because that's crazy.
We would be astonished if it is.
Yes.
But we have to consider that as a possibility.
Yeah. So, no, great disclaimer. And best of luck. Take mini cities, make it your thing. Find other cities people have made and showcase those, and make the title and thumbnail about how amazing the city is. It's based off of a real city, whatever. Like, so get into the community of Roblox and like review different things. Like if you're looking for ideas, like go into our AI coach. If you have that tool, if you're subscribed to vidIQ, ask it for video ideas based on this. Like there are so many ways you can, like, so many places you could take a channel like this. But we think you should double down on mini cities too.
I think this creator should be able to come up with at least 25 different video ideas on mini cities 2. I'm not saying you make one video every single day, you know, keep within your capacity to create content, but with a game that's being released and updated constantly with new news and rumors, you should be overflowing with video ideas and just put all of this other stuff aside. Yeah, that World War II stuff did fine, but you abandoned that 2 or 3 months ago.
Yep.
Every time you go back to this one game, that's what your audience wants to watch.
Yep. So, and the titling structure and thumbnails are great. Like, so you already have a lot of that down. You have a lot of good data off of your previous titles and thumbnails. You're kind of following that flow. It's going really good for you. And then you might be asking yourself, okay, here they go again saying play one game on a gaming channel, right? I want you to know, like, a lot of gaming channels launch themselves off the back of one game, and then they slowly branched out. So you will find that for you. In the case of Roblox, it's probably going to be another city builder that comes up in the future, but you just want to constantly be making content for your audience, the same people who subscribed before. What would get them to watch if I pivot games? But playing a World War II simulator and Daytona this and city builder that, you're catering to so many different audiences, and we want you to be consistent. Cater to one audience, and then if you want to start branching out, as long as you like city builders and games like that, stick with that genre at the very least. But get your channel popular off of this game first. Start small and then branch out.
I believe, Dan, Skylines 2 is on the verge of release, which certainly has a lot of crossover.
Oh, yeah.
And there are channels on YouTube that have been living off that, the original of that game, for years. So you're almost close to a big leap into another gaming territory there.
Franchises are fantastic. And yeah, City Skylines consistently had like paid DLC updates. And you as the creator can like buy those and ask the question, is it worth it? And then you can play and see all the like the top 5 features, you know, like there's so much content you can do because it's just constantly being updated.
So as a reminder, Dan, this was our Twitter winner. So do make sure to follow us on Twitter, as well as our Facebook group, because we run competitions there. Do we have one from Facebook this week, Dan?
Not this week, but
Not this week.
Every so often. Yeah, Discord,
probably
Facebook.
Next week.
Mm-hmm.
So do make sure to follow us on Facebook and, of course, Discord, where our wonderful community manager, Victoria, runs all of the socials for you. Well, Viper runs Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, do make sure to follow us on the different socials for more opportunities to get your channel audited. And, you know, while we're showing this graphic, a shout out to our moderators. I see Tish is in there, Calvin the Unfindable, We find him every single week on this live stream and moderating for us. Thank you to all of you, as usual. Keeping the vidIQ Nation in check.
Yes. So while we're promoting things, there's a cool thing we want to show you before we get into some more super chat questions and more channel reviews. Let's show you a cool thing. It is our new YouTube stats feature.
Ah, awesome.
Yeah. If you don't see the link but below, just refresh the page. But if you scroll down to the description, there is a link for vidIQ.com/YouTube stats. You can type in the name of a channel and learn a few things about them. So let's just type in Ryan Trahan, who is about to relaunch their Penny series here in July.
Yeah.
And here we go. We get some stats on Ryan Trahan. So their overall channel score is an A. How many subscribers, views, estimated earnings, their engagement rate. This is a 100% free tool. You do not need a vidIQ account to play around with it.
Nice. I like free stuff.
Yep. And there is a lot here that you can learn from these larger channels.
So let's play a little game here, Dan. And everybody in the chat, I want you to play along on this game. So currently, this week, they're averaging what? Between 3 and 5 million views per day, which, whew. But when they start their series, Dan, how many views per day do you think they're going to be getting? And maybe we should try and, when does the series start? Is it
July 1st, I think.
So I think in 2 weeks' time, we need to try and remember to come back to this page and see how many views per day they're getting when they've got that series running.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess. Oh, you go first, Dan. I'll let you.
I was just going to say,
this over or under.
I continued watching Ryan Trahan after the Penny series, but I have been missing that. Like, it was so fun to watch. It was so fun to watch that journey. It was posted daily. So like every time I was about to have lunch, boom, new Penny video was up. So I would like to think that if they're getting 12 million views a day without that, this is just going to add to that. So maybe another 5 million views on top of what they're already getting.
Well, you said 12 million there. Did you mean 2 million?
Well, no, they're getting, oh, sorry, that's subscribers. Sorry, I got confused. They're getting 2 million views. So yeah. So when I think about how many views those got in the first day, I would like to say, was it like a couple million at least?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we're up to 4 million. Maybe it doubles. I don't know.
I'm going with Ace United. I think it's going to be around about 7 million views per day.
Yeah.
So that's incredible.
That's gonna be bonkers. It's, if you haven't seen the Penny series that Ryan Trahan did, it was last year. It was so good. And for anybody would like this kind of content. It's so fun. But yeah,
let's do one more thing. Folks, have a guess how many views you think vidIQ gets every single day. And we'll give you the answer in about 30 seconds. I just want to see some comments come up and then we'll flash them across screen. Let's see what we're going to get here. And of course, you'll be able to find out this information by going to vidIQ.com. What's it again? /channel /YouTube -stats. So we're getting 200, 500,000, 45,000. I don't think, come on, Slavgard. Come on. I know you're a moderator, but now you're just taking a Michael. 200,000, a million. Numbers are all over the place here. Dan, give us the actual answer. I think, are people going to be a little bit disappointed then? We get around about 100 to 150,000 views per day, which is around about 3 million views per month.
Am I looking at this right?
Yeah. What's wrong?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So that's total, and then the green is like our daily number.
Got it. Okay. No, I just got confused again earlier. Numbers are hard. This is not a vidIQ thing. This is a Dan's brain is bad with numbers thing. But there you go. vidIQ.com/YouTube-stats. That is linked down below, and it's completely free to use. You will notice that larger channels are the ones showing up on this. That is just due to certain limitations. But check it out.
Oh, somebody's asking an interesting question here. Can we just check this? Because now we can tell everyone we have a Spanish channel where you can listen to Dan and myself in beautiful Spanish. It'll be vidIQ en español.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go.
I thought that was like a very
100,000 subscribers. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so a smaller audience, but a targeted audience. Around about 20,000 views per day. And yeah, if you want to listen to Dan and myself speak Spanish, then head on over to that channel. We sound a lot better in Spanish.
We do. Yeah, it's embarrassing for us here. Okay, now let's look at some supers before we get back to channel reviews. A whole bunch of questions being asked. We want to get to these before the end of the day here. So you only want views from people who will watch the whole video.
Correct.
Pokefang, thank you. It's true. You don't want views from anybody.
True.
So a lot of people ask us for shout outs. So we're like, you don't really want that because everybody here is just focused on growing their YouTube channels. Dragon Slayer commentaries. Want to say thank you for all the tips and updates regarding YouTube you guys have given since I started my channel in August. 172 subs away from 1K. Congrats.
Nice.
Glad I found a community of fellow creators. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd say you're on the classic YouTube trajectory there of you started your channel a year ago, you're passionate, you're motivated, you've had some struggles, you've probably had some ups and some downs, but after that first year, you're approaching one of the requirements for monetization, hopefully watch hours as well. So I salute you and give you some air horns for that celebration in the future.
Kevin Quayle Show, how's it going? 2 months, 317 subs. You taught me well. Thanks. Wow.
This is just awesome when people give us money to tell us how good we are. I love it.
Oh my God. Kelly, I'm unemployed as of 2 weeks ago and taking a break from the 9 to 5. I plan on posting consistently. I couldn't do without you guys. Any advice for no niche?
Well, we're sorry to hear, Kelly, that you are unemployed, but yes. YouTube is, I would argue, Dan, one of the greatest opportunities for self-fulfillment and creative freedom there has ever been. Yeah. So if you have the time and you have a passion, go all in while you have this opportunity. But of course, if you do need to sustain yourself with a job, that's very important as well. So I don't just want you to say, like, just give up everything and start doing YouTube and just hope it all works out. But yes, YouTube is a fantastic place, and we wish you all the luck in this journey going forward. Advice for no niche. Kelly, you're going to be mad at me. I feel like
Pick a niche.
you got to pick a niche. Yeah. You can pick whatever you want. Okay. And especially great if someone's already kind of doing it already, kind of laying out the path for you. But you want to cater to a specific audience, because if you try to be everything for everybody, you kind of end up being nothing for everybody. Like, people don't know where you're going with your channel. YouTube doesn't know where you're going with your channel. So we recommend picking a niche. It can be relatively broad if you want to try that. But the channels we work with that succeed quickly are the ones that really focus up on like one thing.
What are you incredibly passionate about, Kelly?
Yeah.
What is the one thing that you could talk about for hours and end? What is the one thing that you talk about to a level of annoyance about with your family, your friends, and they just want you to shut up about it? Well, come to YouTube, because you will find a like-minded audience who wants to share that passion, and more importantly, your beliefs about and your message about that topic and that passion, and just like ramp it up to 11.
It's a tough question. Sometimes people don't know. I don't know. I like a lot of things, but I don't know if I'm particularly passionate about one thing. Sometimes it's about telling a story. Like, if you want it to be a personality kind of driven channel, like, talk about an experience that you could elaborate on through a lot of videos. And like, so you're unemployed. Maybe you have been going through the process of trying to find a job. Maybe you've learned a lot from that process and you can share some tips with people. Like, but then you kind of become a channel about that journey of trying to find a new job, about maybe, you know, just different tips and tricks in that space. So I would continue going down that road. But that is one way you can look at it, is what do you have a lot of experience with that you feel like you could elaborate on and maybe even help a lot of people with. So best of luck, Kelly.
We labored on that super chat a little longer, because I think that this is a message that's relevant to a vast majority of the audience here.
Yeah.
About the opportunity you have on YouTube, but how important it is to figure out who you want to speak to on YouTube.
Yeah. So best of luck. Moon is... That was before you said not to ask your super chat. Another question. I think, okay, I got a little confused there. Some of my videos get within 2 days, 1 to 2K, I'm guessing, views, but other videos that are not on the same subject take days to reach 1 to 150 views. So I think the question they're asking here maybe is why that is. Like, you've some videos that get 1 to 2K views pretty quickly, and then other videos on a different subject, you said. Oh, on the same. Sorry, not I read it as not at the same. Sorry. Okay, so
we're not auditing the channel, so we can't see what the thumbnails and the titles are like.
Right. But what I can say is that I've seen this happen, and usually the answer, and maybe you just need a second set of eyes. You can join our Discord and maybe get some tips on like titles and thumbnails and stuff. Sometimes the answer is kind of obvious to people like me. I've seen channels do this, and when I look at the videos that did well and I look at the videos that didn't, it's usually because of the simplicity. The ones that did well were very simple to understand, or they had better titles and thumbnails in general. And the ones that didn't do as well, the creator tried to get too complex with what it was they were talking about, and it appealed to a much more narrow audience, and the regular viewers didn't click with them. So it might be getting a second set of eyes on your channel, just taking that step back for yourself and seeing like, okay, these are the videos that didn't do good. These are the videos that did good. Put them in 2 categories and try and find the similarities between each category.
There could be shorts as well, and there's a lot more volatility in view counts on shorts. But again, without seeing the channel, and we're not necessarily doing that in super chats, we can't confirm.
Bruiser, I believe is how you would say this name. Can you please start a thumbnail course we can invest in? I'd be first to sign up.
John, can you start a thumbnail course? Cheers.
Never say never. But yeah, no, thank you for the super chat and expressing your interest there.
Do we have tons of links to thumbnail videos that we made, or is it all the gaming?
We have the gaming ones.
Stuff, yeah. We have got there's a thumbnail workshop in a link in the description. I'm going to be honest with you. We also have a thumbnail playlist. I'll be honest with you. I've done a terrible job of maintaining playlists on YouTube. If there's one thing I'm useless at on YouTube, it's playlists. However, there's probably quite a few videos on there just to help you get started.
There you go. Delton, thank you for the super. 300 subs in a year. Is that a good rate for a Lego channel? Depending on what you're doing.
I'd say Lego is quite a popular topic on YouTube. So if I was to give you the honest answer, it sounds like you're a little underbaked for a year in, 100 subs, if I'm honest. So maybe looking at how that content is appealing to your audience is something to maybe focus on.
Let's look here. Photo 911. My Photoshop tutorials are for the average person at home. Do I need the pros as well? There are a million channels for pros. Okay, interesting. I would say that the Photoshop tutorials I look at, I don't necessarily look at their full catalog and go, oh, is this more for pros? I'm kind of a novice. I look and just see what is the specific thing I can learn.
Yeah.
And I feel like over time I've become closer to pro level at Photoshop just through watching tutorials from various channels and following their instructions. But it doesn't, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of an interesting way of framing it. What do you think?
I think we can maybe put ourselves into this context in that vidIQ typically on the channel tends to help beginners more than it does pros and channels that are creating businesses. We kind of do stray into the area on occasion, but if you look at our content, it's mostly about how to get 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, monetization, etc., etc. And so we are appealing to, like, I think the average person at home is probably the wrong way to identify the target audience. You want to be more strategic about this and really drill into the ideal viewer. So who is that? Is it somebody who has used a simpler photo editing tool in previous, but they've reached the limitations on that, and now they want to use Photoshop, which is a lot more complicated and intimidating? Or are you making Photoshop tutorials for people who want to maybe sell their content as stock footage on a site? I know these sound like slightly ridiculous questions, but the more you can answer these questions, the more you can identify specifically who you want to appeal to your content to, and then make more videos to that one ideal viewer who says, this video was made for me. Now I'm going to go look on their channel and see what else they can offer me. Having said that, that is quite difficult to do within the educational how-to category because, as Dan rightly pointed out, people are very search intense for stuff like Photoshop tutorials. Like, I need to know how to remove this background. Okay, this video has answered the question. Cheers, video. I'm not interested in anything else. Not interested in the creator. I've moved on. It's a tough world. And I think when you offer the solution through the search-based content, within the content itself, you've got to make it very engaging, appealing, and start to sell your own values and belief to create that community around it. Which is, again, it's kind of what we've done here at vidIQ. We have not just people who are coming in for one video to get like a simple answer to one part of the YouTube growth journey, but they're here for the whole journey. This is why we do these live streams, so we can connect more with the audience.
All right. Kim said, put out a short, was slow, then 2 days later it exploded. Why? I'm not new to shorts.
That's shorts for you.
That is shorts. Is it one of the first ones you've had explode, though? Maybe you were doing okay, things were consistent, and then something really popped off. And now YouTube found like more viewers for it.
I'm curious to know what the traffic source is of all of those views. Like you say, Dan, what's the past history of a channel? Maybe on this occasion, the shorts were sending positive signals, whether that be high watch time, high audience view duration, lots of engagement in terms of comments and likes, and it like triggered YouTube enough to say, hey, after 48 hours, this video's done well with this sample size. Let's try a new sample size over here. And then it soft over races.
Yeah.
I would say just be prepared for the downside of this. Like, views are going up, views are going up, views are going up. Oh, and I've just fallen off Everest and now it's all tanked again. That does unfortunately happen with shorts.
I'm broke, but wait 5 years says, would you make your thumbnail before your video? If possible. Yeah. At
least a concept, at least like a storyboard of it. Yeah, it's something that helps you visualize how you're pitching the video, which is then going to help navigate the content itself. I will confess, though, that we don't always make the thumbnails before we make the videos. So we kind of don't eat our own dog food sometimes. We're working on that. And, you know, we are practicing what we preach as much as we can.
VZ Family says, been stuck at 23,000 for 6 months. I used to get 20K views on videos. Now I get 2. What happened? 2? 20K views to 2 views or 2K views? Either way, it's quite the drop.
Yeah. Again, without seeing the channel, Dan, this is where you start to think conspiracy theory. Like, was it one video and was 20K and then all of a sudden the next video was 200 views or whatever? That starts to suggest to me community guideline warning, strike. It was content now relabeled for age restriction above 18. But we just don't know, unfortunately.
There's always a chance that the way you were doing maybe like vlogs or whatever it might be before, like you've changed something. Maybe you, maybe a recurring character, a person who used to be in the videos isn't there anymore. Maybe you were doing vlogs like a certain subject and you've kind of pivoted into something else and it didn't resonate. There's just like so many things that could be without looking at the channel. And even with looking at the channel, not always is it clear. So hopefully we've kind of sparked something through this conversation, and best of luck. Banned Books says, can I get a channel review? Just kidding. Take my money. This is worth it just to learn about creator music. I didn't know about that. Thanks. You're welcome.
Consider it taken.
And Daniel Cook says, you seeing one long form video.
I was just going to say, Dan, we do actually have a video about creator music. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, you made one.
You made one, right?
You made one.
Did I make one? Oh, yeah, I did, about how scary it is and how expensive it could potentially be.
Yeah. You seeing one long form and one short a week, the best. So it's basically doing one long and one short a week. Whatever's the best for you is what I would say is the best. Whatever works for your schedule. I think that's the simplest answer.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, you know, if you wanted us to force us to give you an answer which was better, then it depends. It's like, you would typically do more shorts and longs just because they don't take as long to make. But does your audience enjoy watching those shorts? And one of the analytics, Dan, that we need to probably show people and drill into a little bit more is a new one that shows you the comparison between how many people watch your longs and your shorts, and then both pieces of content to maybe help you determine if you should be going down one route or the other. I think Dan's bringing it up in the background. But yeah, we'll probably have a longer discussion about this going forward. But yeah, Dan, if you want to bring it up and then we can show people this new analytic. So I guess it's kind of a most revealing insight into the algorithm, or as I may start to rephrase it, the YouTube thingamajig. Views across formats.
Oops. Okay, hold on.
So,
there we go.
So videos only, 63%. Shorts only, 12%. Watching both, which you would want that white bar as wide as possible if you're doing mixed content.
Yeah. So just to break this down, this is the two things that are being compared with this. So videos and shorts. Then you can do videos and live streams. And a lot of our audience, when you compare those two, watches just mostly our videos. And there's 6% of them watching both. Only 2% watch the live streams only. And then shorts and live streams, look at this. Look how many people only watch our shorts and know nothing else about vidIQ. And this is probably a lot of people's graph probably looks just like this. And I've been saying this for, it feels like over a year now. Yeah. A shorts viewer is just different than a long form viewer. It doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong. We're making very similar content on both sides of it. It's just that some people look at shorts and they like shorts. They don't really like sitting down and watching videos for a long time, or the people they do watch are just way different than the people they would watch on shorts. So
go ahead.
I'm just going to wrap up by saying, so there are a lot of people who will only ever know you through YouTube shorts, and that's okay.
Am I right in thinking that if you start watching shorts and then you close down the app, when you reopen the app, it doesn't show you like the homepage or anything. It just goes straight back into shorts and starts playing them. It's like some users of YouTube may never be going outside of a shorts player at this point.
Yeah. That was shorts and live, so I don't want to, just a more accurate look would be shorts and videos. We were doing videos for a very long time, so it makes sense that we are known for long form videos. Shorts is a pretty recent development for us, but there are 12% of people who watch just our shorts and they don't know about our videos.
As always, bit of feedback for YouTube if you're listening. I would like to see how these numbers vary over time. So like watching both, 25%, great. Can you show me how that's going to vary in 3 months? So like in 3 months, it might be 32%, but I can't remember what it was 3 months ago. So like, I want to see if it goes up and down and whether we're able to convert more long form views into shorts viewers.
Yeah.
Because this static number
send some feedback.
Doesn't help. Just like, I've done it on a live stream now, Dan. Like, you know, I hate it when you send something on YouTube, on Twitter. You give them some feedback and say, hey, thanks for the feedback. Can you press the send? Can you give us the feedback in the YouTube studio? Like, no, I've just done it. Ranting about YouTube's feedback system now.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's do one more super chat and then get back to some channel reviews. Yep. That means we'll probably only do one more round of super chats today. So get them in now because there's a chance that we may not get to them. Thank you for your valuable content. Home Engineering, you are welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you. And then Tiger Mom gave us a super as well. Thank you.
Yay.
All right. So we have more. We'll get back to those. Let's get now into random selection. You've been submitting on the forums linked down below, gaming forum, non-gaming forum, and now maybe you will get picked at random for a channel review. We will do that picking through the claw. I was gonna say, were you hitting the button today? Or okay, we have 600 plus responses on the non-gaming forum. On the gaming forum, 496. So we're gonna do a non-gaming channel. I'm gonna type in 612, and we are gonna start the number picker 534.
Another 1,000 submissions again, Dan. Oof.
It's so many. A shorts channel.
If only we had, like, we could clone ourselves in AI, and then the AI could help audit people's channels.
Huh.
Ha!
Okay, class Bastin. I hope I'm saying that right. Comedic and educational content for somebody. That's not your fault.
Well, it kind of is. That tagline does have like a certain number of. So that's for teachers and students. Okay.
If you get rid of the welcome thing here
Yep.
and just do this part, the whole thing will fit without getting truncated. I would say that's a small impact. It's not going to make a huge difference, but it's just interesting. Okay. Let's see. A lot of shorts between 1 and 2K views. We have one here, 53,000 views. Teacher tries to escape grading monster. Let's take a look. So just some music.
Yeah.
And then the story is being told with text. They have all these papers to grade, I suppose. Okay, so pretty simple concept here. A lot of props, a lot of prep to make something like that. Not everything is popping off the same way. And when I see that, I ask the question, what was it about these shorts that made them so popular? And what is it about the other ones that isn't taking off as much? And I think maybe it's the concept. 9 times out of 10 with shorts, that's what it is. When someone scrolls to it, is it something they can relate to? Is it something they immediately understand? And I would say, yeah, I clicked on this video and I kind of understood the premise right away. As long as I read the text, I get it. There's also one here called We're Ready for Anything. Teachers preparing for their classes in June. This is, I think, a really good way to open a short. The text is nice and big, clear to read. And then the idea that the teacher's wrapping themselves in bubble wrap is just kind of funny, right? So again, like it's like a nice hook to get people to stop scrolling. But if we look at like the latest videos, husband gets literally dumped when your wife decides to redecorate the house. So a couple things in this one, Rob, if I'm to really nitpick.
Yeah.
The text is smaller.
Yeah.
The person in the short is smaller. Like, so there's a lot of a lot of negative space in the short. And it's like my eyes are moving around a little bit more to find what's going on. And then what's interesting is, what is this box that they're in? Once I finally get there, like so they're throwing away their husband, and that's kind of funny. But I've never, is this like a trash can? Are you like, is he stuck in a cabinet? Like, why is he in the cabinet? Like, so it starts to raise questions, I guess. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Also, in terms of audience, this feels like it's trying to appeal to a very different audience, families, relationships, couples. Mm-hmm. Whereas the popular ones seem to be aimed at teachers. You know, the process, this is how you feel when you teach your class. And the channel that we saw much earlier on, which was really tapping into the pains, struggles, and journeys of going through exams, that was speaking to a very specific audience. So if we go back to the channel banner, Dan, and I think the explanation of a channel, I don't think this channel is about educational content for teachers and students, because those, you know, although they cohabit the same space, they're very different audiences with very different needs, desires, and humor, and I guess level of maturity, especially when it's students and teachers. So maybe think about, again, this ideal viewing candidate for your content, because I think you've got to go one way or the other. I think this content's got to appeal to educators and teachers themselves, or the students. I don't know if you can do both.
Yeah. Teaching my butt off the last week of school. Why did it go back to this one? That's not what I clicked.
Dan's YouTube is broken.
It is. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
So it's music. You're not missing any.
Yeah.
So teaching my butt off the last week of school. So this is still a teacher in classroom doing something, and it's sped up. But what's confusing is like what's happening in the short itself. Like, why did you write Netflix? I don't really get what you're trying to tell the students. And I think it loops. I think that's literally the whole thing.
Okay. Right.
It's the joke, I guess, doesn't land. It makes me think too hard. Does that make sense?
What is the joke supposed to be? In the last week of school, I'm just going to tell you to watch Netflix.
I think so. I think we're just going to use Netflix instead of like go over any actual lessons, which I get. Like, it just takes me too long to get there. It's kind of like running across a thumbnail. You have to think about too hard. And that's why we're looking at these shorts rather than just judging them off of titles and thumbnails alone. Because with shorts, most people won't get the chance to see the title and thumbnail. It just starts playing. So that's kind of what you have to do to audit your own channel, like when it comes to shorts. You have to look at your shorts. You have to compare them to other really successful ones and try and figure out, why did someone stop on this one and watch the whole thing versus like, why did they swipe away really fast? And with this one, I think what's happening is people are swiping away pretty quickly or at least they're not watching it like loop a bunch of times because it wasn't very funny to them. They had to think too hard and it didn't captivate them. But this one, I didn't have to think very hard at all. You know, last minute grading. Oh, everything's fine. Then you look over, very, very good facial expressions there. And then huge stack of, you know, work to do. Like it resonates more with me as the viewer.
My final thought here is I want to applaud for the creator for just going out there and doing some crazy stuff, like you getting in this cabinet, being Darth Vader at school, putting all of those boxes on the desk in a precarious way. You're not afraid to test things and see. It feels like you've thrown a lot of stuff at the wall in a moment, and that's fine. That's good, because some of the stuff is sticking. You just need to identify those sticky patterns and then embrace them and jump into them a little bit more. But yeah, this is a teacher doing brave stuff, just getting crazy, and I applaud that. You know, again, for a channel with 500 subscribers, I mean, the view counts aren't bad. No, they're certainly fine. We just want more viral moments for you.
Mm-hmm. So keep at it. This is awesome. This is really good to see, and hopefully we've given you some valuable information, some valuable tips. Let's move on to the first randomly selected gaming channel, and the gaming forum is at 503 responses now. So why not? Let's make it accurate.
Look at Dan. It resets the number every time. I ain't doing that on my live stream.
Another shorts channel, Nightburst 20. Fun montages, tutorials coming soon, clips. Oh, tutorials coming soon. Okay, gotta pay attention to the comments. And clips. Interesting. All right.
Rocket League.
So they did say shorts. So we'll focus on these. This is going to be a lot of the same advice, honestly. Like, do I understand what's going on the second I click on the short? This goal was clutch. Boom.
Pew.
Car moving immediately. Pew. Ball into goal. Oh, it missed. Now what's going to happen? Now,
oh, there we go. It's in goal.
I love it.
Still lost.
Oh, well, that's okay. So that one did really good. 10,000 views, you know, and movement, action. Boom, right away. Don't even give me a chance to think about it. Like, we're doing this. If you know anything about Rocket League, there's not a lot going on the screen. Still, we're just driving towards the ball. It builds anticipation. You know, I can't swipe away. Are they going to make it? Other shorts haven't done as well. This one got 393 views. How did I get this goal? So
I'm doing sound effects for everyone. I don't know if those are accurate sound effects, but there you go.
Bit confusing here. So again, I'm going to nitpick. The short starts about here, and there's a little bit more going on that's like kind of like making me nervous, right? Like we're at a different angle now, and there's another car, and the ball's already in the air, and we click, and then there's this explosion, and then there's there's like more happening, but in a way that I felt like was distracting me. This is me really splitting hairs here, trying to figure out, why did this video not do as well as the other one? Because by the end of it, it was impressive. Did people make it to the end, right? And if there's too much going on that's confusing people, especially a game, in a video game setting, there's a lot of lights and things going on. So if the footage is quote unquote not stable, are people swiping away? And I don't know. You have the data. I don't. Maybe you posted this 5 minutes ago. So that could also dictate things. It was posted a few days ago. So I don't think it's going to pick up again. It could, but I don't necessarily see that.
I like the consistency on the channel. They know what game they're playing. They're playing it a lot. They're using curious, action-based titles. This goal was clutch. This goal was insane. How did I get the goal? You know, you're posing kind of an curious statement or question in the title, so I approve of that. And fairly consistent view counts, Dan. Like around about 1,000 seems to be the benchmark. Some above, some below. So yeah, I think in terms of the audience you're trying to appeal to, you seem to have got all of that nailed down.
Yeah. So best of luck. Hopefully that quick overview on your shorts was helpful. And if you got Rocket League tutorials coming out soon, that's great. I'm going to assume those will be long form, although you could do search-driven shorts. That works too, especially for really nice, short, simple concepts. But yeah, I would recommend that as a direction for you.
For 3 long form videos, Dan, on Rocket League, and for all of them to have over 100 views, I'd also say that's pretty encouraging as well.
That's really good.
And the titles on these are, if I'm honest.
They're not great, but
they've
people watched them. People watched them, and I know they're montages, which can be kind of hit or miss as well. But they're not super long. Not a huge commitment for these, so maybe people will be willing to give them a chance. But yeah, tutorials would be next. That would make a lot of sense for you. So good luck. Keep at it. All right, let's take a look at another non-gaming channel. That form is now to 628.
628.
82. I think it's real awkwardly quiet. Okay, next door neighbor. Every Sunday, 12 a.m. Pacific. Just a couple of neighbors talking about fun, crazy, mind-blowing stories.
So do they intentionally post their videos at midnight?
Interesting.
I mean, if it works, fine.
So I know what AITA stands for, but I don't want to say it out loud.
If you've been on Reddit, you do, yeah.
Yeah, for sending out a gift registry but not getting married. So for asking family for free gifts, basically. So, okay, two titles kind of going on here between the thumbnail and the title itself.
I see what this is.
And the Reddit reactions.
They're
okay.
going to Reddit and they're picking the titles and then they're discussing the story in the videos.
Yes.
All right.
This is interesting, right? Some of them are an hour, so it looks like they're doing these podcasts and then possibly clipping them, which is how I would do it. That's good. How long have they been at it? 9 months.
Oh, yay. Good point, Dan. The oldest button is back.
Yes. Yeah.
Really helpful for us.
Yes. Thank you. I think they did that just for us.
Just for us and our live streams.
The biggest videos on the channel were the same subreddit, basically.
Yeah.
Stopping my daughter's wedding. I would say these thumbnails, I was hoping to see something that stood out to me, but I would say the thumbnails are of the same quality, just very text heavy, kind of a reaction shot, but nothing really like specific. And then the titles are still pretty long, and they're about similar dramatic topics like the ones being covered in the latest videos. So I think my advice would be, what if you tried more specific thumbnails? Because it's always the two of you, and then you just kind of throw some text on it. And I get that you're trying, like someone holding a present and the other person like begging or something. I get that you're trying to visualize the story, but could you do it in a different way? Do you both always have to be in the thumbnails, for example? Could it be just one of you? Could it be neither of you in the thumbnails and you get some different imagery to kind of like, illustrate your point? And you know what might be really, really simple to try? Some very, very popular videos on YouTube right now are ones that talk about a dramatic social media topic, and they literally just have the thumbnail is a tweet. And a lot of times that tweet is not even the actual tweet. It's like them simplifying the story in like a 5-word tweet. It's a thumbnail that they kind of like craft, like they pretend it looks like a tweet. So you could make a Reddit post looking thumbnail, and the only text on it is like, I asked my family for gifts, but I didn't get married, or something even smaller, simpler than that. Make it look like a social media story. And then the title would be something like, something like what you have, basically, or except for, this person, I don't know, they asked for gifts without getting married, WTF. I don't know, something like that. It's hard to think of this stuff on the spot, but look at videos that basically have a whole tweet and that's the whole thumbnail. Like those illustrate, I'm going to tell a story about something I saw on social media.
Is the AITA abbreviation a successful title strategy on YouTube? I just did a quick search, and it's not as if this type of titling structure brings in tons of views. So I almost wonder if they want to hold back that mention until they begin the video. And it could actually start with, reading out that abbreviation as the full text when you start the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about that because I'm looking at the titles, Dan, and it seems as if they're having to crowbar in that reference into their titles, or they're doing just a bit of keyword stuffing a little bit, like unexpected stories, pipe character, Reddit stories, pipe character, NextDoor neighborhood podcast, pipe character, full episode 41. Feels like there's a lot of forced, let's hope I appear in search for this particular type of phrase, which you probably don't want to be doing, especially when these are emotive, curious stories. You want to be selling that value as much as possible in a title and a thumbnail. You can tell the viewer where it's come from and a bit more detail once they've clicked, but it feels like these are just a bit too formulaic and rigid, almost as if you're trying to talk to YouTube's search and discovery algorithm to say, hey, YouTube, this is what the video's about. These are all of the details that you need to know about this video, rather than it just being something that appeals to humans. And I was also thinking about the video length. Like, as we identified, there are some podcasts and there are other videos that are 10 to 12 minutes long. And I was wondering, what if you just did something radical and you just focused on one story that was 3 or 4 minutes long? Very self-contained package. But then I did a search, and this stuff tends to be 30 to 40 minutes long. Yeah. But I was wondering, as an experiment, do you want to try a completely different video length?
I would challenge you to not target search in your next clip, just to see, and say Reddit user gets disowned by their family, you know, in the case of the latest video. And then the thumbnail could allude a little bit more to why that is. Try stuff like that. Like, try to really play into the drama, you know, and Reddit user could be your term that you always use. Reddit user does this. Reddit user does that. Kind of like Florida man, you know? Yeah. And that alone could be something that people look at and go, oh, okay, I get it. And then it's still the two of you doing your thing, but you're just telling the story in the thumbnail and the title a little bit more clearly. That's the point I was trying to get to before. Nice. It took me forever. But yes, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for sharing your channel with us. Let's look at a gaming channel, and then let's look at these super chats, because they've piled up on us. We
haven't done much critiquing of thumbnails, I've just noticed, Dan. This is the first one where we've really paid attention to the thumbnails.
Yeah.
Is pause a lot causing you absolute grief at the moment?
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
Pausing at scratch face.
Everything on my desk is part of an obstacle course. I'm trying to get to my mouse so I can click on the claw. It's so bad. Okay, gaming. 529. Claw still making noise again. All right, 312. 312. Another shorts channel.
Oh my goodness.
GamerPie695.
GamerPie654. We hardly knew ye.
All right.
Minecraft.
I see a mistake being made in this content without clicking on a single short. You are hoping that people will go from your short and watch the full video, which you've linked.
All right.
We would all love that. We would
all
love that.
I should add a sound effect every time the cat walks past. Like, whoosh! So, what have we got any sound here, Dan?
It's just music.
Okay.
They've put a watermark in the top, which is fine. A lot of people swipe shorts from others, so I get it.
Yeah. This is a strange version of Minecraft.
It is. I'm not getting a lot of reasons to go and watch the full video.
Yeah.
Nothing's really happened. This is an interesting perspective on Minecraft, but nothing's really happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what you are up against in shorts. I want you to make shorts that are a full experience from start to finish. I want you to tell me a story. I want you to give me something interesting, entertaining, educational, and I want it to stand on its own. I do not want to be asked to go get the real value from the real video. That doesn't work. Using shorts as a billboard for other content does not work.
Oh, it's good. You can see how hard it is to transition from our analytics shorts views to long form content.
Traditionally speaking, I'm sure there are outliers.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my own experience, it's not the way to go. But if you make really entertaining shorts that are very similar to your long form content, the people who do want to see the long form versions of your stuff will find you and they will go watch the long form videos. But as you saw earlier when we showed those stats, it's difficult to do. It is very difficult to have that crossover between both shorts and longs. That was this analytic here for your videos and your shorts. This is our crossover. It's 25%. You know, people who see our YouTube education shorts are like, all right, fine, I will check out the videos, the long form videos. Or people who are watching our videos, all right, fine, I see a short pop up, maybe there's another nugget of information in there I missed in a long form video. But we never say, go watch the full video, link down below. We don't say that. We give people the value in one consistent short form package. So that's my tip number 1. Judging by popular, you have one here with 5,000 views, just called The Boys. And it's just popular music
from somewhere. Yeah.
Yep. So I think what might help this one is just the fact that there's just not a lot going on, right? So, oops.
Oops.
You know, it's kind of intriguing. There's, okay, I got the blocks. That's good. Now I can go save the dog. And then there's a big whoops, you know, so it's not very long and it's just kind of interesting and funny. This was a full experience. This is what I'm talking about. You didn't ask me to go to another video and like go watch the full thing over here. It's literally just, here's something interesting that happened in Minecraft. And that's what I want to see from you. So yeah, I got really hung up on that, but that is my advice.
I have nothing I believe I can add there, Dan. I do want to watch the Minecraft speedrunner versus AI hunter gone wrong. I think that's a curious title.
It is.
But does it deliver?
So we got full videos and comments. Yeah. So yeah, we worry we're going to get maybe nothing out of this short. It's long too. It just kind of keeps going and going and nothing's happened yet.
So some cow being killed. What's this called? Where's the AI hunter?
Yeah. Are we being hunted? Because it doesn't feel like we're being, and then because you use music and there's no voiceover or anything, it's difficult to like so this is where it should have started if there's a countdown. Now the tension comes in halfway through the video. So
what they're doing, they're building something really tall.
Yeah, they're trying to, I guess, avoid being hunted.
How does that link to the first part of the video where a cow was being Minecrafted to death?
Yeah, exactly. So the countdown hits 1. Now I'm really anxious. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're being hunted. Okay. All right. Where is it? What's going to happen? And then the video's about to end. So are we going to see the payoff? No.
That was a long shot as well, wasn't it?
It was very long. Half of it was irrelevant compared to like the title. It just doesn't, you know, it should have started when the countdown started. And I want the ending to be the thing that goes wrong. You said it's gone wrong, but nothing went wrong for you. It seemed like everything was hunky-dory. So again, full experiences in your YouTube shorts. I'm not trying to pick on this creator. I'm trying to give this advice to everybody making shorts. Like the thing I liked about it and the thing I didn't like. I loved the tension. I loved the countdown. I did not get the payoff. So
yeah, this creator's content is a canvas by which we can share our thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So best of luck to GamerPie, who's already hit over 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Has some shorts that have taken off for them in a really big way. Study these, figure out why. I have some guesses myself, but you know, take a closer look at them. And I think before long, you keep this up. The quality is really good, by the way. Like the actual sharpness in the videos, I would say for the ones we watched, pretty decent. You keep at this, you're going to see them blow up to 10,000 views, 20,000 more. So you're doing a lot of things in Minecraft. Keep it up. All right. We have supers. We have lots of supers.
Yeah, wow, 14. Oh,
if at this point you send a super, we might not get to it. Just FYI. Zeldum. Hey, Rob and Dan. My channel has always been dedicated to Legend of Zelda theories, video essays, but I'm considering expanding into the shorts market as well. Any tips for how to break into shorts? Oh.
I think we've audited this channel. It's like similar to 100% Zelda, but not quite the same. Wasn't it more like video essays on the lore? I'm sorry if I'm misdescribing the channel, Zelda.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just start making shorts, same topic, Zelda, and like probably the best way to experiment is what we've done here at vidIQ is just take some of your long form content and say, how can I turn this into not a 60-second video? You don't just want to make a short and find a reason to make it as long as possible. Think about how you can turn that into the shortest piece of content possible within shorts and do that for like 5 to 10 videos as a testing bed. Just because it's an entirely different discipline when filming and editing a short. And I'm still struggling with this. I'm like trying to be ruthless and extremely efficient and saying, okay, well, I need to cut the video every 2 seconds instead of every 8 seconds on a long form piece of content. It's going to require practice.
Did you know?
No.
Did you know would be a really good place to start with any short that's going to go into some lore or interesting theories. Did you know that in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, those little buzzwords that people use in the beginning of their shorts are very, very intentional. So I would recommend watching some shorts and noting those down. Did you know is a really, really good place to start if you're going to continue that lore conversation into YouTube Shorts.
Dan, that is an excellent point. And we made a video on some proven hacks that the big shorts creators use for their videos. And it's called 36 Proven Ways to Hack the YouTube Shorts Algorithm. And I think that was an excellent video, Dan. Like, it was 8 minutes long, but it gives you 36 different ways to start your shorts.
Yep. So all different kinds of shorts. So yeah, there's something there for every shorts creator, I believe. I love this next question because this person's mindset is in the correct place. How do you make Let's Plays more interesting story-wise? And just as a note, a Let's Play, in my opinion, would be you just playing a game on a gaming channel. Let's Play is like a gaming term. So I'm just going to turn on my camera and let it roll. There is one thing you can do to make your Let's Plays stand out story-wise, and that is to plan them out ahead of time. I'm not saying you need to script the whole thing. I'm saying give yourself a little bit of time before you start recording to figure out how you want the video to go in terms of beginning, middle, and end. In order to figure out the ending, you do need to do some pre-planning. I watched a YouTube documentary the other day on like TV shows, and the TV you can tell the difference between a good TV show and a bad TV show by the time you get to the finale. Game of Thrones is an example of one that no one could let go of. We all loved Game of Thrones, but by the end of it,
apart from the last season.
That's what I'm getting to. By the end of it, we can't even go back to it because the ending was a complete flop. And it was almost as if they were making this fantastic show and they didn't know how it was going to end. And the consequence to that is no one even talks about Game of Thrones anymore. Breaking Bad went into it very intentionally, and they knew the ending they wanted, or at least they had an idea of a couple ways it could end. And they worked towards that goal. So if you treat every Let's Play like a story, that means you know the ending you want to get to, and you'll put things in place to make sure that you tell the story you want to tell. But stories take planning. That is the #1 rule if you're trying to take a Let's Play and turn it into that kind of story-driven content.
So yeah, George R.R.R. Martin, your fault. Why don't you finish the books? You said you were going to finish them years ago.
You said you'd finish them, George.
Come on.
Hello there. I don't know what's going on with you.
Sorry, Dan, I did want to ask you a question. What would you say to the creators who don't know what's going to happen in the Let's Play? Let's say they're playing an episodic story game. So they're starting a new chapter. They don't know what's going to happen in the story.
Mm-hmm.
I may be asking you a question here which has no good answer.
It's not great. If you can't plan ahead of time, it's not a survival game like Minecraft, it's a story-driven game.
Yeah.
What you can do is kind of come up with it after the fact. So you record your core footage of you playing the game, and then maybe a narrative starts to form that you weren't expecting. You take note of it, and then you plan your intro around it. So then you shoot your intro afterwards to try and give the middle of the video some more meaning. And hopefully the end is a payoff based on the story of the game.
And then you edit around what that focus is. So you may have to, there's this term again, you may have to kill some darlings in that there may be some really cool bits, but they don't relate to the focus of the story that you're trying to tell in that Let's Play.
But there are ways to plan content without scripting it out and feeling like you're being disingenuous or anything like that. There are certainly ways to do that. There's ways to drive towards certain goals. but you want to know how it's like, you want to have some idea by the time you're about to post that video of like the beginning, the middle, the end. Does it tell a consistent story? Is there a clear beginning, middle, and end? Big Bear. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I was at 460K on shorts views, and now I'm down to 96K. My shorts are barely getting views. Another one of those difficult to say.
Was this, you were at 460,000 views on the requirements for 10 million shorts views or 3 million shorts views? Shorts is still a part of YouTube which is in its infancy to a certain extent. The discoverability of that content is constantly evolving. And I think YouTube is identifying more and more as it gets more data, which shorts are actually better than others for viewers and their satisfaction. So that might be one reason, in that you were getting a boost because you were making content and YouTube wanted to reward it, but now they found better content for that audience. Or it could be that the topics died down a little bit. Let's say you were covering a video game or a movie that's no longer of interest. It's so hard to answer these questions when they're specifically about your channel. In the comments.
We talked about shorts quite a bit though today, so hopefully there was something in there that sparked some imagination for you. Let's try to get through these pretty quick here. We got so many. LOL Wings BG, thank you for the super. Lorelei, I'm sorry if I'm really butchering that. vidIQ Boost, with vidIQ Boost, I'm so happy it was able to get more features, but stay tuned. I plan to level up to vidIQ Max.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
It is another leap in itself. The support you will get from fellow creators, along with our professional coaches, Jeff, Travis, and Alexi. It's another planet.
Wise Wander Tech says, I started my channel 2 months ago, and now I have 294 subs, but watch time hours are slow at 422. Your channel helped me. Glad to hear it. Best of luck.
And momentum will continue to build. So
yes,
let's assume that in 4 months' time, you're not just going to be at 600 subscribers. You're probably going to be more than doubling. Hopefully, if you continue to build on your audience that is now beginning to grow. Like 300 subs, that's like a small venue of when you're playing music to what would that be the size of, Dan? Like a school gymnasium. That's the audience you're playing to right now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Streampunk says, how can I make my channel easily searchable? Answer questions that people have about specific things.
Yep.
1 short/1 full video a week, good practice. It is if it works for you.
Just answered this exact question, didn't we, about 10-15 minutes ago?
Whatever works best for you and your schedule. Thanks for your advice. I'm almost 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Professional Sports Enterprise. Yeah. Nice. S Ventures says, new to YouTube, how well would going live do if you were a theme park channel? Interesting. I've seen a lot of theme park channels go live. Like if there's an event or something and they're trying to experience it in real time, as long as you have like a decent microphone and stuff, I think you plan it around an event of some kind. They're about to open this store in the park because it's going to have some item, or there's a big like show that's about to roll through, or I'd really plan it out, but I think that could work.
You will need to have a strong tribe and community, return viewers. That might be a challenge if you are new to YouTube. And also, I feel like I'm being a bit negative here. You're not the first channel to focus on theme parks. So what can you bring to that audience that's different to anybody else? If you find something different, then you can do whatever you want with the audience, because they'll come to you because they can't get that content anywhere else.
It's true. Home Rapid Repair, thank you for the super. Appreciate you. Tommy Breyer on Fleek. My channel generating 0 views now. About finance and motivation. I have budget to use to grow my channel. Is it good to spend it on paid ads? No, asterisk. Watch out, because we're doing a video experiment on this ourselves. But generally speaking, we would scream from the rooftops, don't do that. Invest in other things. Maybe some courses on thumbnails, for example. vidIQ, tools that can help you grow. We have AI tools that help generate video ideas, things like that. We're a bit biased, but we do like those. If you're going to take that money, invest it in ways that you can improve as a creator, not paid ads. But we're gonna test it. We've been saying that for a long time. We're about to test it ourselves.
What happens, Dan, if it works? Oh, well, I say it fails in that it works.
We're gonna just put more money and get to 10 million subscribers.
We're gonna take all of these super chats and we're gonna plow it into promotion.
Yeah, this is great. This is great news.
But we'll keep telling you all that it fails and it doesn't work. We're gonna send us more super chats.
We're gonna gatekeep the secret to success, which is paid advertising. Home Rapid Repair again. Thank you. New channel now 8 months old. Growth seems slow to me, but I do see it. Any ideas on if channels see exceptional growth at some magical point in the future?
There's never a magical point in the future when you experience exponential growth. There isn't like you must do 30 videos in 6 weeks and have at least 200 views per video. It just sounds like you're still figuring it out. You're still just experimenting with YouTube. You're figuring out if you enjoy creating content. Growth may seem slow to you, but who knows, in the home repair DIY genre, you may be growing really fast and you just don't even realize it. Again, it's difficult to say without context of a channel, but just keep at it. There are many occasions where creators have done 98% of the hard work and they feel as if they're not getting anywhere and they quit. And they're just on the cusp of just like having that light bulb moment. Perseverance. This is a YouTube challenge right here. You struggling and thinking like it's never going to happen for me. Usually it does. Usually it does.
Natural Japanese with a cane. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thanks, Dan and Rob. vidIQ helps me a lot. What's the best tool for screen recording other than Windows built-in screen recorder? A couple things. We use StreamYard to do all of this, so it allows us to very quickly and easily pull on different things on our screens, have different people. So we like that. There's also OBS, free software. This might be, if you have like a higher end computer, a lot of NVIDIA graphics cards come with built-in screen recording software that's actually really top notch. So look for something called Shadow Play and see if that comes up. Those are my tips.
If you want to do something after the fact of screen recording, like you record a screen and you want to zoom in, have funky animations, I recommend Camtasia. That is a video editor I've been using for about a decade now. So any content you see from me on the vidIQ channel, which I've edited, because I don't edit all of my videos these days, but if I've edited it, it's through Camtasia. But there is a cost to that.
Yeah. The Mighty Chungus says, when would the best time to upload? Thanks. Whatever time works best for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's whatever's working for your audience, whatever's currently working, and you could try some stuff out. But yeah, there's no like perfect time to upload as far as our opinion goes.
You may not have this data yet on your channel, but YouTube does say like this is when your audience is most active on YouTube. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's when you need to post, because throughout the course of a day, usually your audience will at some point interact with your content. But just as an example here, so for Dan, I'm going to try and get my timings right here. It says for you that most of our audience is online between like at lunchtime. And we do publish our videos at around about 8 to 9 a.m., don't we? Yeah. So we have aligned our video publishing time with those peak periods. But that's going to be different for your channel.
But we also kind of create these, right? Like if we started posting up here,
probably,
you know what I mean? Like, so you kind of have a little bit of say in this too. You just kind of be consistent. That's kind of the best thing to do. Sorry, spikes in subs, but views / duration time. Thoughts? Huh? So spikes, it's subscribers, but views / duration time. Something about views and duration.
Okay, so subscription source. Find out where those subscribers are coming from. That should tell you exactly what's happened there. Mm-hmm. Like if it's from a certain video that had a really good call to action to get people to subscribe, hey, you've just learned some interesting data point there that you want to apply to future videos. Mm-hmm. But the data should be able to answer that. Should we quickly show them where that is, Dan? Like, because we're almost on that screen. So if you go share screen, that's analytics, and then advanced mode or see more, whichever one you want to do.
On which one?
I think you can do it from here. So there, and then subscription. No, click more.
Where?
Next to subscription status. and then subscription source. And that should give you an idea of where that's changed a little bit, hasn't it? But that should
individual videos have this too.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick here, we got Big Poppy B Rad says, "What's up, vidIQ? I watch your content all the time, and I appreciate everything you do. Just hit 500 subs with the 6 months. Congratulations!
Nice.
Thank you for
How many
sharing.
watch hours have you got?
Yeah.
One step to monetization.
Modest Reviews give us a super. Thank you. And then Bean Man said, possibly radioactive string cheese. Thank you for the super.
100% agree on that.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's been fun.
That's it.
That's awesome. It. We're gonna go now. So thank you, everybody. It's been awesome. It's been real. That's it. That's all I got. Awesome and real. And Rob wants to. Yes.
I'll tell you what I want to do, Dan. Just talk for a few more seconds, and I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Oh, but I literally just said I had nothing else to say, and then he just leaves me here. But that's it. I don't have any more advice for you. We've given you every YouTube secret that there is. You should all be experts by now. You should be in a week's time teaching us how to do YouTube. And I said that.
All right, you ready for this exclusive reveal?
Okay.
I'm going to start dancing with the world's smallest play button. Dan, see you next week.
Where'd you get that? Look at that. vidIQ again.
I'm going to try and make this a viral short. Like, I've got the world's smallest play button.
That will work.
Look at the finger marks on it already. Ugh,
that is disgusting. That is, yeah. Well, maybe it was going to work until you don't put it that close to the camera. Or do, so it looks big, and then you pull your hand. Yeah.
This is the world's smallest play button. And it's reflecting awfully with the light. Bye, everyone.